So okay, started. Okay, let me get this on the screen. Okay. Hi everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome back again. Okay, so last week I was teaching everyone how to make the moon. So usually every week on Saturdays I teach how to make polymer clay projects. Okay, so this last month was Mid Autumn Festival. So I did quite a lot of Mid-Autumn Festival themed projects. So last week I made the moon earrings, okay? And then you also could do the ornaments also. So this is the one. All right. Okay. So this week, it's the start of, oh, okay, Opa wants me to show longer. Am I showing this right? Yes. Okay, Opa, this can? Okay. So this week I am going to do it's the start of October. So I'm going to do the Halloween themed month. Okay. The other thing that happens in October is Oktoberfest, which is a German beer festival. So but that one is already that's on the 1st of October, right? Or it's the whole month of October. They probably drink the whole month. But I'm going to concentrate more on Halloween this month, okay? So last week I did say that we are going to make some spiders and things like that. So I'm going to show you stuff that maybe not accessories this week because I've been making a lot of accessories. Oh, yes, because I've been making a lot of accessories, so I am going to make something a little bit different, a bit more decorative. We do want to, Halloween is very fun to decorate your house once in a while. Other than Christmas, Halloween is quite fun also. So I'm going to teach you how to make something that's a bit more decorative for the house, okay? So you're going to need white and black today. Um, if you can see, we're going to make this dish here. All right. So this is the dish that we're making. Okay, so white and then with black. Very, very simple. Not difficult at all. Okay. If you have any questions, please feel free to put it on the comments. You can feel free to ask. And then you can also let me know what you think. Okay, and there'll be a lot of exciting things for this month as well. So please feel free. If not, please like our page and check out the other sessions that we have. If you're interested in the previous polymer clay sessions that I was carrying out, please feel free to go through the page and see what are all the videos are up there, so you can see what previous projects I've done. And also I have a polymer clay page as well. So if you're a polymer clay enthusiast, please go ahead. Or you're interested in it, you don't even have to be an enthusiast. Go ahead and just take a look, and there's quite a lot of content about polymer clay on there as well. Okay, so I will be starting what I'll be doing today. You need a bit of white. Okay, quite a bit. You need quite a lot of white. It depends on how big your dish is going to be. This one I made is fairly small. Okay, I actually used a silicone mold to help me with this. This one is actually supposed to help me make a square coaster. Okay, so but then the dish will turn out like this size after you you know, make the square coaster and things like that. So it's about that size. If you want something bigger, then of course you have to get something bigger. So today I'm making a square dish, okay? Because usually I make round. So today I'm making a square dish and I'll show you how to make. Very, very simple. If you can remember from previous sessions, I use bowls to help me make the dish itself, and then you bake it in the bowl. Today you don't really need anything, okay? So you just need something square. You can find anything in your house. If you have coasters that are square, go ahead and use the coasters to help you. Your dish will be a bit smaller, that's all. Some people have extra tiles lying around the house. Okay, so if you have square tiles, you can go ahead. I have a square tile. You go ahead and just use it. This is for measurement purposes only. If not square tiles, square photo frames, anything square that can help you measure out the size that you want and the shape, okay, that you want, it's all right. All right. Okay. So, oh, hello, Stephanie. Hello, Opa, my husband. So today, as usual, my husband's helping me. All right. Okay, so depending on how big you want your dish to be, you will need the corresponding amount of clay. Okay, so I'm just going to show you how much white clay. So I'm going to use the tile here, right? This tile here is about, Opa, do you have a ruler? I think this tile here is about 12 cm by 12 cm. So it's a fairly big tile. Okay, Opa is going to help me measure exactly how big the size of this tile is. Oh, there we go. Thanks for the ruler. Oh, sorry, this is 10 cm by 10 cm. Oh, 15 cm. This is 15 cm by 15 cm, okay? So this is about 15 cm by 15 cm. The amount of clay I'm using for that is maybe about two golf ball sizes put together. It's like a fistful of clay, almost a fistful of clay, okay? Okay, you need a roller for this. So last time I was teaching most of you, okay, to when you do use your roller to roll something flat, to roll out a flat sheet, all right? You start in the middle, you pull the roller towards you, then you turn it. Since we're going to make it square, right? We're going to do it, we're going to do like the um, four sides. So you start in the middle, you roll towards you. You start in the middle and you roll towards you. Okay? So if you want to make it a little bit more square, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to fold it so that I have my square sides like that. Okay, so I'm going to fold this way, start in the middle, and then roll it out towards me. So this will make sure that the shape is kept, or not the shape, the thickness of it is kept even, all right? So I'm going to just keep rolling this out this way. So I'm going to keep doing this until I have a sheet big enough to for the square that I'm working on. Now, for some people, they are telling me this is very difficult to do. This is true, because if you want to like keep it in shape and things like that, it's not that easy to do. So my suggestion, if you have a pasta machine, some people do have pasta machines, okay? You can use the pasta machine to help you roll it flat. Okay, so the pasta machines do help as well. Okay, but if you don't have, so I don't have, I'm using a roller, and this roller is just helping me to to make it straight. All right. So let's say there's one side that's a bit longer than the other. It's a bit odd shape. I'm just going to cut it. Okay, I'm going to place it in the middle here. And then I'm just going to roll it out again. I'm just going to place it in the middle and roll it out. So this is going to help me make sure that my clay is, there we go, evenly spread. Okay, so if some parts are not straight, you can always just cut it and place it in the middle again. Okay, and then you can flatten it out in the middle, it's fine. Okay, this is to just help keep a general square shape. Okay, later we'll use the towel to help us make it more, to make it a bit more even. All right, but for now, I'm just doing it so that it's a bit of a general square shape now. Okay, so that it can, I make sure I can get my sheet big enough. If there's any questions, please feel free to ask, right? Okay. Oh, thank you for the comment, Bronson. This is going to be, I was thinking like, you know, because I wanted to decorate my house for Halloween. So I wanted to see what can I do, you know, what are some of the options I have. So I did mention like spider, and I actually had wanted to make a spider accessory. But I have a lot of accessories as it is. So I decided to instead do a dish, spider dish instead. Okay, so I'm a bit short here, so I'll maybe try and extend it out this way. Okay, let's see if it's big enough. So this requires a bit of measuring. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. If I'm going too fast, okay, let me know as well and I can slow down. If you want me to repeat anything, okay, do let me know and I will repeat the steps accordingly. You want to, the thickness of this, right? You want to make sure it's maybe about half a, this is not even half a cm, no less than a quarter of a cm thick, because if it's too thin, your dish might crack. Okay, so you do want to make sure that it is thick enough so that your dish does not crack. So start in the middle, roll towards you again. And then start in the middle and roll towards you. Okay, I think my, is this big enough? Okay, it's about there. The size is about right. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to place the template I have on top, all right? And then I'm going to, okay, let's see whether I can do this. Oppa, can you help me? Oh, Piane. Oppa's trying to help me, not this time. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay, so you're going to just use the cutter to cut along the sides. Okay. Cut along the sides this way. Then we'll cut along the sides. And then cut along the sides again. So you have a square shape. template. Then you lift your thing over, lift it up, okay? And then you have something like this. Okay, so I am done with my sheet. And then you choose the side that you want it to be the up side, okay? So I think this side is a bit better actually. So I might use this side instead. Okay, I'm just gonna move this out of the way so it's not blocking. All right. Okay. Opa is blocking, that's why I move it this way. Okay, thank you. Okay. All right, so next part, we are going to put aside the white because we are not working on this yet. White the tabletop. Oh, thanks for turning on the light. Okay, and then now we have black. You do not need a lot of black, you just need a little bit only. I'm really using maybe about 20-cent coin size, 50-cent coin size black amount of black clay. Okay, it's really not a lot. So I'm just going to roll it into a long column. I'm going to cut a little bit of it. Basically what I'm doing, if you can see here, okay, I'm actually making the what do you call it, the web now. So I'm making like the strings of the web. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to roll it out into strings, my black color clay. I'm going to roll it out to strings, and then I'm going to create the black color web. So I'll teach you how I did that. Okay, you can determine how thick, how big, how thin you want. You can make a tiny one in the corner. You can make one that it covers the whole bottom of your dish. Entirely up to you. Okay, entirely up to you. So what I'm doing, all right, if you can see on this web here, I'm making the star shape in the middle first. Okay, so I'm making these lines across first, all right? Then it's easier, then after that I do the lines that go across the long lines, all right? So I'm going to need, this is up to you how you want to do it, but I'm going to show you how I do it, all right? So I'm going to do 3 long strings that will go across my dish and crisscross, they will crisscross one another. Okay, this is just another thing to decorate my house for Halloween. So this is something fun to do. The kids can do it too. Okay. You don't have to do it too, the strings, you don't have to do it too evenly or anything. Spiderweb, you know, some parts are thicker and some parts are thinner. They're not exactly very symmetrical. So it's entirely up to you. However thick, however thin you want to do it is up to you. Of course, if you do it thick, the strings a bit thicker, they are easier to handle. The thinner they are, the more difficult they are to handle. Okay, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask, and then I'll answer your questions, all right? Okay, so I've created something like this for now. If you can take a look, okay? So I have 3 strings that I created like a asterisk pattern. I cannot pronounce it properly. An asterisk pattern, all right? And then now I'm going to make the web that kind of goes across, okay, to give it more detail. So those are going to be actually a bit smaller. The amount of clay I'm going to use is a bit lesser. So I'm not sure if some of you have seen my previous sessions. You might have, all right. For my previous sessions, I did mention that if you want to roll out strings of clay, you should go in one direction. So if you're right-handed, start from the right, go to your left. If you're left-handed, start from the left and then go to your right. Okay, so I've created strings that are kind of long enough and I want them to curve in a little. Okay, so I'm going to do that. Give it a little curve. You can do it straight if you want to. I'm just giving it a bit curve because it gives it a little bit more texture. So that's why I'm doing that. But if you rather straight, if you make them straight, it's actually a little bit easier. So it's entirely up to you what you want to do for the curving, okay? You can keep them straight, you can keep them curved, up to you how you want to do it. It's always easier to make the strings a little bit longer than shorter because you can always cut it down to size. If you make it too short, then you won't be able to cut the the strings down to size, and then you will have like a bit of a problem. Okay, the other suggestion I have is fix down the two ends first, and then kind of roll it to create the curve shape pattern or the U shape pattern that you want. If there's any questions, please ask and I will answer the questions, okay? If not, please go ahead and like our page. We have plenty of interesting sessions today and tomorrow. Our weekends are always packed with very interesting sessions. Okay, so this is the other one. So we're just going to repeat this step for a while. Okay, so we're going to do a few of this. So this is the most time-consuming part. This part is the most time-consuming part. All right, so bear with me for a while. Yeah, so Halloween, usually when I was in US, Halloween was a very big deal. We would, decorate the house, dress up, buy lots of candies, and then all these kids will come ringing the doorbell and asking us trick or treat, and then we will have to, we will ask them trick or treat, and then they would decide, whether they want trick or treat. So always a lot of fun, and the kids really, really dress up really nicely. Very interesting costumes, actually. They do wear very, very interesting costumes. And it's a lot of fun. And the kids love it because they come home with like bags full of candies. Really bag full of candies. And it's a lot. The atmosphere is nice. People would, when we decorate our houses, we would decorate the lawns, and then there'll be lots of very fun decorations. Pumpkin carving was interesting. Very messy, but very fun. And you would, there was some really intricate pumpkin carving competitions. So that was a lot of fun, actually. I remember during Halloween when I was over there were corn fields. So there were farms that grew corn, and by then they harvested. By October, they would have harvested the corn, and they would cut out a maze in the cornfield, and then you would have to go there during the day, and you find your way out of the maze. Kind of scary because the corn stalks are actually taller than you. So if you get lost in the maze, it would take some time to find yourself, like to find a way out. And you do not want to be there after dark because there are no street lights it gets super dark and you will not be able to find your way out at all without any lights. So, but that was a lot of fun. It was like a treasure hunt in the corn maze, in the cornfield. But it was a lot of fun. Um, very different from what we have over here. In Singapore, maybe it's more decorations, candy. So that's just a little bit of what I miss actually. And the food, they have great food festivals over there. Pumpkin pie and things like that. So actually it was a lot of fun. Okay, so I've made the outside part and then I'm going to do the inside. So it will get easier as you move towards the insides because the strings that you are, or the length of the string that you need would get shorter and shorter. Okay, so they wouldn't be as long. Okay, you can make more than like, I'm just going to make 3 layers because it would be too much if I tried to make more. You can, okay, but you would need to spend more time on it if you're making more than 3 layers, okay. So I'm just going to do three layers. So this is the second layer I'm starting on now, okay. If there's any questions, please feel free to uh, ask, okay, and I will answer your questions. Oh, is that how the word, at least ask, is that how the word maze comes about? Actually, I'm not too sure how did the word maze come about. That's true. Actually, corn is also known as maize, but it's M-A-I-S-E, I think. That's spelled M-A-I-S-E. Oh, but that's a very interesting question. But the maze is a lot of fun. They have hay rides too during Halloween as well. Oh, the haunted houses. Oh my gosh, the haunted houses there were like really fun, really scary. I was very freaked out. Um, some of the I went to Salem, Massachusetts, which they're very famous for, witch hunts and things like that. So they have the atmosphere for it to be scary, and some of the houses were really, really scary when they decorated it. It really felt like a haunted house. Um, and you could spend like sometimes maybe 15 minutes, which feels like a really long time when they're trying to scare you in the dark, okay? But and you get to meet a lot of people because you would go in as a group. And I remember that I was hiding behind a couple, but they were all a lot older. There was an elderly couple, and they said I was chicken because it was so new for me that I didn't really have like, I didn't really or I hadn't really experienced haunted houses before. So that was new, and I was like freaking out. And this older couple that was with me kept trying to protect me, but they were like, you're really afraid. Why are you doing this? So it was quite interesting. The shopping malls also would have haunted houses as well, and that was a lot of fun. So those were actually, it was a lot of fun. People, the older kids, I would say like the teenagers, will go out and go to haunted houses. The young kids will, go house to house, knock on doors, and get candy and things like that. So that was very interesting, very different the atmosphere. Okay, so I'm having problems trying to put this one down. If you're having problems with your string, right, best way, use satay stick. Okay, satay stick will really, really help you with the moving of the clay and things like that. So you can use it to help you kind of move the string because it's a little bit more well, you can get a little bit more purchase than your fingers, actually. Ah. Okay, so I'm going to put this side down. I'm going to fix the sides down first. I'm not going to care how the middle looks like first. I'm going to fix the sides down first. And then I'm going to use my satay stick to kind of help me move it. Okay, and then you can use your fingers. Okay, so that's how you get it done. Okay, so the next one. Okay, gonna cut it down to size. Fix down the sides first. Once you fix down the two sides, it's easier to adjust the middle, the U-shaped part of the string, okay? So you fix down the two sides first and then it's easier. If there's any questions, please feel free to ask, comment in the comment box. I will get to your questions and answer them, okay? If you have any suggestions on what I can make for my next project, or you would like me to make for my next project, please do key in the comments as well, and I'll take a look at it. Okay. And if you are making any of this, please hashtag, ArtSphere 1969, sphere.1969, and hashtag the picture, hashtag your project. We are having a free giveaway, so this cutter I'm using here, all right? It's a free giveaway for anyone who does that. And I will let you know when you have won the cutter, okay? If you are interested in buying the resources, where to get them and things like that, do let me know, leave your comments as well. I will get back to you. I do have outings to actually go to certain places where I get my polymer clay resources and things like that. So we can definitely do that. And if you're new to this, it will be good as well because you would be able to find out where you can get some of your materials from. Sometimes being new, you might not know what you need to get. So it'd be good to have someone to kind of help you along and let you know what you need, whether so that you don't buy or spend unnecessarily as well. Okay, so my strings are getting shorter and shorter. All right, because it's to the middle here. So it's getting shorter and shorter. If you have any questions about where I got my materials for today, you can also drop me a message. If you couldn't get me during this session, definitely PM me. Okay, I will definitely reply. Okay, we can definitely set up something as well. If you want to have a session on learning how to make polymer clay, that is completely, that is also something that I do. Okay, so I do teach how to make accessories or dishes, things like that. Okay, my previous projects, I have a lot of videos. You can go ahead and take a look if there's something that interests you, but you're not sure if you can make it on your own. All right, so definitely PM me, okay, and I will, we can set up a timing to do a session together so that you at least can have some guidance on what you need to do in order to make, I'll teach you some basic steps in order to start doing your own polymer clay projects, okay? So sometimes it's also better if you have somebody to guide you through all these projects as well. So when I first started out polymer clay, that's how I learned. I actually learned it through somebody who was really good at polymer clay, and then I then kind of explored a little bit more on my own. If I were to start this out on my own without any help, I think it would be very, very difficult because you wouldn't know what kind of techniques and things like that. What are the very basics and what you can start off with first. Okay, so I finished my spider web, all right. And I'm just going to take my roller here that I have. Very simple. Give it a wipe. And then I'm just going to lightly run it on top so that it kind of presses my spider web into the dish itself. Okay, so that way it will stick onto the dish. It's still a little bit raised when you run your fingers over it, okay? It's still actually a little bit raised, like there's a bit of a 3D effect. But why I run my roller over it is to make sure that it sticks better, okay? Okay, next we'll go and make the spider. Very simple. You can decide how big you want your spider to be. The smaller your dish, then the smaller the spider. You know, the bigger the spider web, or I'm sorry, not the dish. The bigger the spider web, okay, the bigger the spider. Okay, the smaller the spider web, then you should make the spider a bit smaller. So that one, this one is in proportion to the size of your spider web. Okay, so for my spider web, it's maybe about palm size, slightly bigger than palm size. Okay, so my spider is going to be about my thumb size. Okay, so it's going to be about there. So I'm rolling it into a ball. Then I'm just using my thumb to flatten it. Oh, Mabel. Okay, Mabel said you're interested to get the starter kits, is it? Yes. Yeah, so can teach how to can teach barrettes. Barrettes are the little hair clips. Yes, actually, if you would like, I can do that. I can Mabel, maybe I'll reply you privately, but I can teach. We can set up a meeting and then see how you want to get the starter kit and things like that when we are free. Okay, and then we can go do that. And then for the barrettes itself, there's some materials you would need. So you would need to buy where to buy the hair clips and things like that to clip, because you can make the decorative to stick to put onto the hair, but then you need the clip itself, the metal part. So that one I do have to go out and buy it. So I can if you're free, we can totally meet up and then do that. Okay, so maybe later I will private message you and then we can set up something. Okay, so this is the spider, and then I have, it's about my thumb size. So basically I have flattened it. It's a bit oval shape. I'm making like the cutesy type of spider and not the very realistic type, because I'm going to use it as a candy dish. And most of the time it's children that are eating out of the candy dish. So nothing too scary, if possible. All right. Okay, then I am going to decide where I want to place my spider. So do I want it in the middle or do I want it in a corner? So maybe I'm going to place it on the web itself. Okay, I'm going to place it here. Or, yeah. So you can decide which part of your spider web you want your spider to be on. And then now we're going to make the legs, okay? So in proportion to the spider, then of course, you know, your legs will be according to that size too. I'm going to put this in front of me so that I can see it better. Okay, so same, this is, your legs are going to, you're going to start with the string-like shape. Okay, so we are going to do this. And then I'm going to cut 8 of the string-like shapes. For the legs, I'm going to cut 8 legs. Spiders have 8 legs, 6 legs, 8 legs, 8. Okay, it was very interesting because when I was looking it up online, all right, I was looking at polymer clay spider, you know, and to see what kind of spider I wanted to make. Some of the spiders had 6 legs, and some of the spiders had 8 legs. It was very interesting. So I was looking at it, I was like, is it an ant? Is it a spider? What are they trying to make? So it was actually quite interesting. Okay, but spiders do have 8 legs, all right. So I'm going to make 8 legs and not 6. But I think there are some the more cartoon ones out there. Some of them only have 6 legs. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 8. Okay, they are all about the same length. Okay, so I am just going to make sure I'm eyeballing this to just make sure they're all about the same length. All right. Alice is saying insect spider. But spider is an insect though. Is it an insect? It's an arachnid, I think. It's an insect. But I think some people just thought that insects have 6 legs and not, which is true, ants have 6 legs. But some people thought that maybe, they have a bit, oh, that's too long, that they have 6 instead of 8 legs. Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do, because the strings are a little bit fragile, I'm going to use the tip of my satay stick. Ooh, okay. The tip of my satay stick, the sharp end, and then I'm going to use that to help me pick up the clay. Okay, and then I'm going to place it on my spider itself. Okay, so I'm going to stick one end. Then what I'm doing is I'm using the tip of my satay stick to kind of press it into the body of my spider. And then, I'm not sure if you can see. Opa, can you maybe move that so we can see this? Okay, so now my leg is like sticking straight out, right? I'm actually going to use the satay stick to hold one end of the middle of it and then kind of use my finger to push one end of it so that there's like a bend, so that the leg has a little like L shape. Okay, so I'll show you again. Okay, I'll pick up my leg with the satay stick. Okay, so I'll pick up the middle of it, pick up the tip. Okay, I'll place it where I want it to be. Okay, then I'll use the tip of my satay stick to kind of press it into the body. And then I'll place it at the middle of the leg, right? And then I'll just hold it in place there while I move the other end of the leg so that it will create the L shape. Is it obvious on screen, Opa? I'm asking my husband whether it's obvious on screen. He is my technical guy for today. So I pick it up again, okay? I will show you all 8 times because there's 8 legs. One end, I'll press it into the body, okay? So that the legs will stick to the body. Then after that is done, I will put it in the middle and then I'll use my other finger to kind of push the legs. Okay, so the satay stick is holding the middle, so it'll create the L shape. Okay, I'll show you another time. Pick up the leg. Okay, this one leg is a little bit long. It's okay. Press it into the body. All right. The tip of the satay stick at the middle of the leg to hold it in place. Okay, and then to kind of do that. So it's not very even. It doesn't look very pretty, but it's okay. It doesn't look very pretty, but it's okay. All right. As long as your spider has 8 legs, it is fine. Um, if your legs are longer, they are actually harder to manage. So if you want your legs to be a bit easier to manage, right? Then you should make them a bit shorter so that your legs are easier to manage, and they are easier to also you know, incorporate into your art. But also because if your spider is bigger, then your leg would have to be longer, okay, in proportion to the size of your spider. So you just want to see how you want to do this properly, all right? Okay, there's actually a piece of dust here. I don't know if you all can see, but there's a piece of dust here that I'm trying to get rid of. Okay, got rid of it. Okay, so I'm going to show you another time. Pick up your leg. Okay, use the sharp end of the satay stick to kind of poke it into the body. The middle of the leg, okay, you're going to hold it down gently, and then with the other finger, you're going to create the little bend. Okay, then do this again, the middle, and then this way. Okay, so use the satay stick to kind of poke it into place. Okay, then you have one more leg left. I promise this is just the hardest part, the most difficult part. Because this is delicate. This is like delicate art, all right? So the more delicate it is, the harder it is, all right? I put the leg down, press it into the body this way, and then do this. There you go. So you have 8 legs. Okay, so now I am going to make the eyes of the spider. Since this is more cartoon-like, I'm going to put the eyes here. Okay, so I use my satay stick to make the detail of where the eyes are going to go. This will just give me a better it will give me a better gauge. Okay, so I'm cutting very tiny amounts of white clay now. Okay, very tiny amount. You really do not need a lot. And then you're going to roll it into a ball. Okay, even if it's not very round, it's okay, don't worry. We're going to use our satay stick again. Take the sharp end of it, pick it up, place it into the hole that we have made earlier. Oops. Okay, and then we're going to use the other end of the satay stick to like press it. Okay, this looks big, but I promise it won't be so big later. Okay, it just looks big now, the white of the eyes, but it will not, it will look a bit better later, okay? So what I'm doing is, that's the white of the eyes. Now I'm going to make the black part of the eyes. Okay, you need even lesser. So whatever white you had used earlier, you're only supposed to use half the amount of black, which is very, very tiny. It's really very small amount, okay? It's not a lot. So I just go roll it into tiny little mini skewer balls. I'm not sure if you're able to see this, but you'll see it later when I put it onto the eyes itself, okay? So it's very, very small. And then I'm going to use my satay stick again. You can see it's on my finger here. It's very small, okay? It's almost as small as the tip of my satay stick. I'll put it in the center of my white, okay? Then I'll use the back end of the satay stick to press it in. So you see again, sharp end of the satay stick, pick up the tiny black color ball I have, put it in the middle of the white, take my flat end of the satay stick and kind of press it down. And then you have your eyes of the spider, okay? So the white looked very big just now, but the black that you have will make it smaller. Okay, now we are going to do this shape. This part is very, very easy. And then I'm going to put it on top. because I'm going to do baking. So you can put it on top of your baking sheet that you have. Okay. What I'm going to do next, I'm going to pinch my corners. Okay. So I'm going to pinch them so that they stick together. So the corners here again, I'm going to pinch it so that it sticks. The bigger your square, the more you need to pinch. All right. So the smaller your square, the lesser you need to pinch. But you're pinching it so that it sticks together. That's what you want to do. So I'm pinching my squares. So I just want to make sure that when I pinch it, my polymer clay kind of sticks together, okay? So I'm going to pinch it a bit more on this side and a bit more on this side. So basically, I'm pinching the ends of the square. Then I am folding it, okay? I'm folding the sides a little. Of course, I don't want to fold it until it's touching the inside, but basically I'm folding it in this way so that it will create the square shape. Okay, and that's done. That's my square dish. All right. Okay, so I'm going to send this in for baking. So this one, I purposely made it bigger. Can you pass me the chocolate? I purposely made it bigger so that I can place bigger type of candy inside. So like this bar, chocolate bar and things like that. Okay, so this one will be, the bigger candies will go in here. All right, for this one, it's smaller. Okay, so I have smaller type of candy that will go inside here, or the sweets. Okay, after you're done with this, you can always just use it as a change dish or like you put your small little trinkets in it. Okay, so when you bake it, just put it in, if you have the built-in oven, you just put it in for about 130 degrees Celsius, okay, 25 minutes. And that will be enough. If you have a toaster oven, the small one, then you should put it inside you should set it on low to medium setting. Okay, it depends on how small your toaster oven is. The smaller it is, the hotter it becomes because your clay is closer to the heating grill. So you want to make sure that it doesn't burn. Oh, thanks, Mabel. Thanks for saying my spider looks cute. Okay. I could make the realistic ones, but I think cute is more appropriate for Halloween lah. Okay. So as I was saying, if you have a tiny toaster oven, then you should make sure that you don't burn your clay project, and you set it to low or low medium setting. Medium is a bit too high, okay? And then don't bake it for as long. The last toaster oven I used was maybe about this big. I set it on low setting and I put it in for about 8 minutes. And then I took it out. I checked whether it was baked. You can use your nails, for ladies with your nails, to press at the back of it. And if there's a dent, that means it's not, if there's a mark from your nails, it's not ready yet. So you want to bake it for another 2 minutes again. So you have to go in and out for small toaster ovens. The bigger it is, then you can adjust the minutes accordingly. Okay, but for built-in ovens, 25 minutes for 130 degrees Celsius, that's good enough. Okay, so if there is nothing else, my session has ended today. All right, for those that have requested about certain things from me, okay, I will PM message you later to arrange what we can do, whether you want to meet up or whether you want to have lessons and things like that. Okay, so if not, then please stay tuned for next week. Next week is still Halloween theme, so I'm going to do ghost. I got some glow in the dark clay, so I think that's quite fun for glow in the dark clay. So I'm going to use it to make ghosts, and it can change and glow in the dark as well. In the meantime, you know, for those, if you want to win the cutter, okay, please feel free to, whatever projects you've done, polymer clay projects, you know, go ahead and hashtag us, hashtag the page and things like that, and I will um, get back to you on about the cutter, right? So thank you so much for joining me today. Please stay tuned because after this, there's Opa session. My husband's teaching Korean. Uh, and it's going to be very interesting. And then later on, there will be Alice, and she will be teaching you how to cook. She always makes very good homemade food. All right. So if not tomorrow, is a full day of sessions as well. So please do like our page. All right. So thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you guys next week again. Bye. Oh, my nose is dripping.